Namaskar. I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive session. You are watching us on PME Vidya channels 6 to 12 and also on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. Well, this is our online training program on Power of Audio in Education. It's a 5-day, 5-hour online training program brought to you by Central Institute of Educational Technology, CIET, NCERT, New Delhi. And today we are in day 3 of the training session where the topic that we have taken is community radio and iRadio. Well, these are two very important concepts, and these type of radio stations have been introduced keeping certain objectives in mind. What were they and how relevant they are, whether they're serving its purpose and what kind of difference they are making to society, especially in the context of education. We will have a detailed presentation on the same, but this session is live and interactive as always. So you can definitely give us a call, you can write to us, and you can message us as well. Please take down our phone number, which is 8800440559. We also have a dedicated email ID for you, that is training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. And you can always message us in our live chat box on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. Since it's a training program, of course, there is going to be an assessment as well. If you score more than 70%, you'll be granted a certificate. You can get all the details through our CIET website. So please log on to the website and get all the necessary information from there. Now, it's time for me to proceed in this presentation, this journey of ours, and let me introduce you all to somebody who has played a significant role in establishing community radio stations in India. So please join me in welcoming my guest for today, Dr. R Sreedher. Sir, namaskar and very warm welcome to you.
Namaskar.
And let me tell everybody that sir is Emeritus Professor from Apeejay Stya University, Haryana. Now, sir, before you delve deep into the topic, I request you to kindly tell us exactly the main points that you'll be covering during the session.
Thank you very much for inviting me to talk about community radio and iRadio and the power of audio. I will be talking about what is community radio, why community radio, what is the difference between public service broadcasting, commercial radio and the community radio, what made the government of India to start a community radio, what were the part of problems, who can apply for a community radio, and then how many community radios are in this country, and how do they create content, and after that the next generation is digital radio. So community radio and all India radio and all other radio stations have got a limitation.
Okay.
They have got an antenna and then it can be heard about 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers, that's all. But internet radio is a global. Radio which was local has become a global one. So we are also going to talk about iRadio today. That's what we are going to talk. Then shall I start my presentation?
Yes, sir, please, because it's going to be one great journey.
It is almost 21 years, it's
Yes.
not 20 years, 21 years of community radio in India.
Okay.
The radio revolutions, let us start about it. In India, the radio started in 1930s. It's about 90 years back. Okay, we'll be soon celebrating the 100 years of radio in India. But the first programs was only on education. We started off with an educational radio only. That is the radio revolutionized education in India. And then in the 1960s, when India was having a big drought, we had to stand in the queue to get 1 kilo of wheat or 1 kilo of rice for the whole night, and we used to be, it was a very pathetic situation in 1965. And then radio played an important role in the green revolution. How farmers can improve their productivity, how can they use fertilizers and other things, etc. So we had radio wheat, radio rice, that is a radio there. It's called IR8 and radio wheat. And then later, we were importing milk powder from USA in 1960, where I am sitting here in NCERT studio. Opposite is the Department of Science and Technology department. That was a godown for having the milk powder from USA.
Okay.
Milk was not available in India. So today India is the second largest producer of milk. That has also happened because of radio. In those days there was no TV, therefore radio played an important role.
Okay.
And then AIR produced science-based educational serials, 1970s to 80s. At that time only we thought, that is a precursor to community radio.
Okay.
We thought how radio being a one-way medium, somebody is talking, how it can be interactive, how it can be need-based. So experiments were done in 1970s and 80s to go and take the scientists and farmers and doctors to the field. Instead of an anchor like you asking me question, we go to the field and take a scientist and doctor.
Okay.
And then the people will come there and ask questions. That will be far more interactive. And then radio was also did a very massive research before community radio was there. 1,76,000 listeners for school children. I think this is 10th standard and 12th standard students. And they did 4 projects, which was as big as Ramayana Mahabharata. But the difference is Ramayana Mahabharata was produced in Hindi and dubbed in other languages, whereas Manav Ka Vikas and Nisarga Sampata were all shared. These are the projects which had the students writing to the radio that I am interested in listening to the program in Tamil or in Hindi, in Punjabi, and then that people was given the choice of listening to the program in that language.
Okay.
So all these things were becoming a revolution, and All India Radio had a local radio. All India Radio is from Delhi, then All India Radio is from the state capital like Chandigarh or Lucknow. Then All India Radio became district wise, and they also went to the Tehsil side.
Okay.
But somehow it's a government medium, it failed. Then all the non-governmental agencies and UNESCO and all looking for a radio by the people, for the people, of the people.
Okay.
So in the meanwhile, the Supreme Court of India has given it a decision in 1995 that the airwaves are free and government cannot do the monopoly. So the government of India started in 1999, about 25 years back, to privatize radio, and then they gave it to private channels like Radio Mirchi, Radio City. They were all auctioned and given. At that time, our Honorable Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji ne kaha, wherever we are having a radio, privatized radio, we should have an educational radio. So that is why the so-called concept of Gyanvani came in the year 2001.
Okay.
Exactly 24 years back, the first Gyanvani station started in Allahabad, and then it was running. In the meanwhile, the government found that running a Gyanvani or running an All India Radio is a very costly affair.
Yes.
And it is not serving the purpose. In every 50 kilometers in India, the language changes.
Yes.
So why only one language, English or Hindi? So the government decided why not be affordable radio for every village, every community, affordable village. So they said, well, let us have a 50-watt transmitter. If you find out what is 50 watts, it's one tube light.
Okay.
The power of one tube light. Whereas in All India Radio and do the other private FM, it is 10 kilowatts, 20 kilowatts. So where is, it is 20 into what is that? 2000 times, 200 times powerful All India Radio. But this is a very small, we call it a mosquito radio. All India Radio can be an elephant and this can be a mosquito. But mosquito bite is also very important.
Yes.
So the government decided to, in 2002, they said let's give it to community radios, and then they first started with educational institutions only. I happened to be part of Gyanvani, I happened to be part of All India Radio, I got it again, and I was in Anna University, Chennai. So I wanted to try a small 1 room, 10 by 10 room with one tube light like transmitter, and then we wanted to see the range. It covered about 15 kilometers radius. That means 30 kilometers the sound was going. So we had the students participating, and then we had the local community participating. So a model was born in 2004 on the 1st February. Our Honorable Deputy Prime Minister and the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, they inaugurated it, and then started the revolution of community radio in India. And then for the first 2 years they were only giving it to educational institutions. Later the Government of India formed another committee in 2006 so to improve the community radio. Then the community radio policy was changed in second time. They wanted to give it to NGOs, agricultural institutions and educational institutions, and they also allowed community radio to do advertisements.
Okay.
Originally community radio and Gyani Bani were not supposed to do advertisement. Now they allowed 5 minutes of advertisement. Today they are allowing 12.5 minutes of advertisement, local advertisements, local temple festivals, local bazaars, or local tradesmen.
Weather information.
Weather information, but advertisements. So it should stand on its own, sustainable, etc. So they have done that. So today, as on date, we have 540 community radio stations. Okay. So I'll just come to the slide which you are seeing. The need for community radio. I've already explained to you in the why community radio. But it is a vast country with cultural, ethnic and geographic diversities. 20 official languages, 1,500 dialects. Even day after tomorrow there is a radio station being inaugurated in Mewat. In Mewat it is a third radio station.
Okay.
And all the three are different languages. Within Mewat there are 3 different dialects are there. Something is connected with Brij Bhasha, another is Rajasthani. So people want to listen to programs in their own dialect.
Yes.
So that's what community radio does. And then more, see, nobody is going to cover a function in Mewat festival. It's not going to be heard in small town. So it's like a small newspaper, local newspaper. Community radio is a local newspaper. So they can have that. They can have their own birthdays created, marriage thing, childbirth, people who die, they can all announcement.
Okay.
That is the community radio. But we started discussing about community radio in the 1960s.
Okay.
When we had a drought. Because I was born in 47, I know about it. G.B. Pantnagar University in 1965 was the first to apply for a radio station on its own.
Okay.
And the policy came in 1999.
Oh.
1965 itself we have started talking about it. Okay. And in the meanwhile they started trying local radios and All India Radio. That somehow first the radio station was born in Nagarkoil, Kanyakumari. It failed due to a lot of reasons. The judgment I told you about 1995, and then the NGOs are all talking in Pastapur in Andhra Pradesh, Bangalore declaration, they were all giving declarations. And the 90s, the need to democratize media, high power stations, UNESCO encouraged the community radio model. And our Sri Lanka was having the first community radio in the thing, and Nepal is having today, I said India is having 540, Nepal is a very small country. They have got 350 community radio stations, all different models, run by educational institutions, run by cooperatives, run by panchayat boards, run by NGOs, run by hospitals, run by tribal groups. It's very different. And then there are community radio models in Philippines and South Africa, etc.
And they all are functional and
all are functional. They are all managing with their own money. Is voluntarism is there. Nobody is an employee there. If All India Radio has got 100 employees, community radio will have only 1. Okay. They have to, everybody, the door is open, Anybody wants to come and sing, All India Radio, everybody cannot come and sing. You have to go through an audition.
And what about monitoring, sir?
Monitoring is a very big question. You can't even ask it how many people listen to community radio. Then the question will come, how many radio sets are there?
Okay.
Let's not go into that.
Okay.
And in March 2001, Gyanvani, I talked about it. I talked about the community radio policy in 2002. Now, Anna University, I talked to you. Content creation, how to create content. Every school, we are now talking about school. In Anna University, every department, a management department, English department, Tamil department, social sciences, history, in computer division, everybody was given a time slot.
Okay.
You are having Wednesdays, you will be talking. So Wednesdays we will be talking only about computers. The police department came and said, every Saturday we will take a slot to you and we will talk about various laws. Okay, what is the cyber criminals, what is the punishment for pickpocketing, all sorts of things. And then all government department took slots. That is how it started. Nobody was giving money, nobody was taking money. Each one was producing their own programs and bringing it to that. Okay, and blind people, they only depend on radio.
True.
And India, 8% of the people are blind. Okay. So the challenge of creating content is very, very difficult. The day, and I still remember, within 2 days we are asked to inaugurate the radio. We inaugurated it. I had to make an announcement that tomorrow onwards you can have 8 hours of program. Where is the 8 hours of program? I went and told my students, that's the power of students. I said, you come, you discuss something, you bring your own musical instrument to play, and you create a drama, you do mimicry, and then first day onwards 8 hours of program. So that is how we used to do it. I said the advertising was not allowed then. Now we are allowing advertisements. Further developments, okay. Then all over the world the people came to see the working of Indian radio stations. You can see a person from USA, you can see a person from Australia,
wow,
and the third person is from South Africa. All of them are very curiously seeing how India has done it.
India set the example.
India set the example of community radio. You can see all the 3 people are very seriously watching. Then we have been conducting community radio awareness workshops in all over the place. It is in Guwahati and other places. And there is a book which is of course written by me and Pooja Murada, which is published by UNESCO. This is community radio in India. In this book is everything is available, how to do a program, what are the program formats, talks, discussions, interviews, features, documentaries, question answers, quiz program, games, radio games. All these things are given in this, how to apply and all. This is a book. And today's what we need is lack of trained personnel exclusively for community radio. The person who is working in private FM will not be able to run a community radio station or all India radio people. That is lacking. Courses like this will help us to create a trained personnel, and it is not a media. Government doesn't recognize it a media.
True.
You cannot do news and community radio.
Okay.
You can't do news.
But only local news is allowed.
Local information.
Local information, not
No
news.
news, no
Okay,
news,
okay.
okay.
Local information, local views.
I have said it in this sign that non-existence of high quality common web, but it is already next session I am going to talk to you. The first portion of my presentation is on community radio. This is over now.
Okay, sir.
Then we will now go to the second portion.
Okay.
The question is always there, where is the radio, who listens to radio, but it's all the thing is there. But my question answer will be for this thing is, The private sector is running about 300 radio stations in today. Every radio, people are listening to that and the car radio and while traveling. And there is a lot of advertisements. That means there are listeners for radio and we have to tap them. So otherwise they are not fools to invest crores of rupees in a private FM. And they are running it for the past 25 years. Okay. Then we will go to the next session, how radio becomes international. Okay. I am going to show you a portal. Of course, it's a non-commercial portal. That's why I am showing it. No advertisement, no sponsor.
So it's iRadio means international radio?
No. iRadio is a web portal developed in India, run on Indian servers, not like YouTube, Facebook, and Amazon, where the servers are in foreign country and the programming was done by other people. So it's all done an Indian effort, and it has got all these kind of programs, and many schools and colleges are, including NCERT, is using this.
Yes.
It's about 30,000 programs are there. Let me go to NCERT itself. Let's see where is NCERT.
It's going to be one interesting information for all the viewers that even NCERT has its own iRadio, so even those who are not listening to it can tune to it now.
Let's see NCERT here. It is some CIET. Okay, let's see. His sound is coming. Take a look.
I'm sure the audio is inaudible.
The sound nahi aa raha na.
So it's going on air and the viewers can listen to it.
This is an NCERT.
CIET प्रस्तुत करता है
National, whatever you have done, was the sound going on there?
So yes, the viewers were listening to the audio. Yes.
Audio, okay. Now, this is also another live portion of it, where this is a recorded program that you are listening, CIET's program. CIET is also on live. Hopefully it's on live now. It's already 4:30, nearing 4:30. It is there. There's no volume.
I hope if it's going live on air, then our viewers can also visit the link and can.
It's a thing. It is also live.
Yeah.
They have given you the
schedule also.
Schedule of the program. Yes. It's there for a whole month. They have given that. Can go on 22nd. What will be there? Okay. So, say iRadio Live makes the radio from local, regional, national to international. If I can say that, iRadio Live can also be heard if Sunita Williams is in the spacecraft.
Wow, nice.
So, it can be heard even in the moon. Therefore, so radio has transformed within 100 years from a small wireless one-to-one contact to global interplanetary also.
It's like, whenever there is a disaster, people tell you to keep a torch with your radio with you.
Yes,
so
yes.
even for space, the same is applicable.
So they can listen to that.
Yeah.
And then there are a lot of people, colleges, schools, universities doing their own. I can say this. I don't know whether it's there.
So you're trying to play a program from iRadio?
From iRadio.
Okay.
There are varieties of program. It is there from the past so many years. It is just stored.
Okay.
For in All India Radio and Doordarshan, you have to go to archives to take the thing. But here in iRadio, it is permanently archived.
Okay. Wow. Very nice.
You have a special program on autism.
Okay. Nice. I'm sure they must be
and
having.
See, if you are going to have first standard mathematics in Brij Bhasha, first standard mathematics in Bhojpuri,
Lovely.
the best way is you can't have a radio, which is costly.
Yes.
Each teacher can have a radio station in iRadio, which is called radio on your hands, fingertips.
True.
Each teacher can record something and the students can go back and listen to that. So that is the function of iRadio. So with that, you can ask me questions or we can play something from iRadio to them.
Well, if there is any program that you would like to play, then why not? Let's.
Okay, I will play back, but in an All India Radio program is also in iRadio.
Yeah.
I will just tell you. You can listen to that Vigyan Prasar.
Yes, let's give a glimpse of the same to our viewers.
Glimpse of that, let us see. Hindi में ही है.
No problem, sir.
अंग्रेजी में.
आकाशवाणी है. कहीं देर ना हो जाए. प्रस्तुत है आकाशवाणी और विज्ञान प्रसार के संयुक्त प्रयास से तैयार विज्ञान.
And it has been
देर ना हो जाएगी.
archived.
It has been archived.
Yeah.
So you can have a science program, you can have a cultural program, you can have so many languages in one click. You can click whatever you want.
All right.
That's the journey of radio so far, and how teachers and students must use the radio is okay. Whatever is not there, I am talking about in the presentation. The radio might become a visual radio by 2030.
Okay, how?
All India Radio has already started DRM transmissions.
Okay.
It's called Digital Radio Mondial. So Digital Radio Mondial means you have got a visual plus audio. And when you are going to listen to the radio on the cell phone, the screen in cell phone is empty. Digital radio, you can do some pictures, some captions, titles, etc.
Wow.
Mathematical formulas.
Wow.
And then All India Radio is also trying, when cricket match is going on, they put the scorecard, scoreboard on the thing, news headlines. So sooner or later, when India becomes digital for radio, the formal part of radio will not be there. It will become a visual radio and will give a challenge to television also.
Okay. So, I think this has been a fantastic journey so far in terms of the content that you have presented. Now, I think I have some questions for you.
Yes.
And I'm sure that even our viewers, if they have questions, they can directly send an email to us or message us the same. Now, we're talking about community radio and iRadio here. So, I want to understand that how does iRadio support community radio stations and what kind of impact has it had?
You see, for example, if CIET is going to have a community radio in this campus, the radio waves, FM waves are what is called a line of sight. If there is a high-rise building opposite to you,
Okay.
that's it. Your signal dies there. Whereas if you go to a rural area, community radio will be heard. So FM signals, we don't even get our signals of cell phone in our house inside.
True.
So there is a barrier. So that is why community radio should always exist with iRadio.
iRadio.
So another thing is, supposing you are a Bhojpuri person, you want to listen to your program in Bhojpuri. You are in America. You want to know what is happening in your community. Then you go to iRadio.
Okay. And so, how students are getting the benefits from community radio and iRadio, especially when we see there is a lot of content available in terms of visual medium. And we are talking about, you also talked about that India is a diverse country with diverse needs and people, because we also promote inclusive education, NEP 2020 is also talking about. So when we talk about equality, equity and inclusivity, how do you think community radio and iRadio are supporting the students?
See, video programs is to be seen with a lot of graphics, animation, artificial intelligence. You just cannot see one person speaking in the video. For that, radio is enough. We will save lot of money in production we will save lot of money as part of data. We are using the 5G data or 4G data for viewing just to see the teacher,
Right.
just to see one person talking, two persons talking. For that we can only listen to their radio, and for visuals, beautiful graphics, animation, artificial intelligence, cartoon creatures, that should be the difference. And then music, history, literature, language, these are taught orally.
Especially, of course, music
For
lessons.
science, medicine, engineering, you need a screen.
Yes. And also one more thing, sir. Today we focus more on skill education. You know, it's not just about the rote learning. How do you think that skill education can be promoted through the use of community radio and iRadio?
Skills have to be done by practically
Yes.
at the space. Therefore, you can only skills cannot be produced by community radio.
Okay.
Teaching skills, language skills, music, this can be taught by community.
But what about the content, sir?
Content, yes, I can show you. I don't know, I think I can show
Like
you.
if somebody is interested in farming, horticulture, activities, at least one can start from
No,
somewhere.
he can listen. You do this fertilizer, you do this, you do that. That's all you can do. You cannot actually teach a skill.
Yes.
Skill should be based on Ved mantras or preachings in church or thing. That can be taught.
That can be
skill can be taught.
Some of the skills can be taught.
Some of the skills can be taught, not all.
Not all.
We have to choose what is visual, what is radio. We have to choose the subject.
And what about science programs?
Science programs was a challenge. That's why I started that. So science programs, when we did this 1,76,000 people on human evolution,
Okay.
we took the stories from the evolution theory. We made a drama of it, children's drama.
Yes.
And then we sent them the posters to support it.
Okay.
These are the things we are going to talk today. Just now you asked me, what are you going to talk? Similarly, we said this is what is going to come in the episode.
Okay.
Listen to the episode. Then we will give you a test. We will send the 2 stones to him. If he scratches it, you will get a light.
Yeah.
So it has to be a combination of visual, audio and video only. No one medium can ever satisfy everything.
You were so showing us something. Yeah.
I will try to show you where is Apeejay University. What is community radio? That's why I want to go to tell you. एक हरियाणवी folk artist ने
Okay.
beautifully he has done this. Let me see, where is Apeejay University?
And there's so many options available.
Apeejay this will be nice for you. How radio can be used.
Definitely, I'm going to explore them.
MNOP, no? MNOP.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you can play and?
I trying to do that. Let me see. It's a good. I have it in my phone also.
Yeah. Look, I am amazed to see the content that is there.
So huge.
So huge, massive.
35,000 program is there.
We have Vigyan Prasar, we have All India Radio, we have our own CIET iRadio, and there's something from Alappa University.
Alappa University. You see, you can see this. There is a YouTube version of it.
Okay, YouTube version is also available.
I can do that. Here I can do. Yes, I'll show you a YouTube version.
I mean, it is so easily available and so easily accessible that you just need a stable internet connection. It's very cost effective and there is no dearth of resources.
Yes, yes.
I think that's the power of radio. Even today, when people are hooked
This
on.
is the YouTube version.
Okay. So we can now see the YouTube version, and of course.
Yes, in YouTube, okay, you can see this. We also give you the number of listeners.
Yes. Okay, like subscribers, we can have the number of listeners also.
You see 94,473 views, and you have got in this how many videos? You can see 5,473.
Okay.
This has been converted into videos.
All right.
This is an old people ka program. This is a scientist program. I can play back to you.
Yes, sir. Sure.
स्टेम पॉडकास्ट सीरीज में आपका स्वागत है। स्टेम यानी साइंस, टेक्नोलॉजी, इंजीनियरिंग, मैथमेटिक्स एंड मेडिसिन, वो क्षेत्र जो किसी भी देश की तरक्की में अहम भूमिका निभाते हैं। ये 5 क्षेत्र हमारे जीवन का वो हिस्सा हैं जो न सिर्फ हमारी जिंदगी को आसान बनाते हैं बल्कि पूरी दुनिया को आगे बढ़ाते हैं। प्रकृति, धरती, ब्रह्मांड, इंसान, जानवर, पेड़ पौधे और जीवन को समझने का तरीका, विज्ञान के ज्ञान का इस्तेमाल है और भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था की रीढ़ भी। लेकिन कोयला बिना खनन होता है। कोयला एक काली चट्टान नहीं, ये भूगोल, रसायन और जीवन की गहराई।
So a science program, we have got 500 Indian scientists talking about their own research in simple Hindi or English.
No, sir, I can see that so many people.
Similarly, you have got Sainik Vani.
Sainik Vani, wow, again.
Sainik Vani, you can see here Sainik Vani. In that, you have got the people who have fought in Kargil war, etc.
So they're sharing their experiences.
Their experiences beautifully.
Okay.
Sainik Vani here.
Is there any options, a search option where we can
yes,
just type and?
I have got this at Apeejay Satya University.
Yeah.
I'll show you here how a classroom lecture is being taught, and I will also show you something. Okay, just listen to that. I will try to go to the second episode where it will be nicely done. Episode number 2, 7, 4, 3. This is concerning education. Playback ho raha? Nahin.
Okay. So I'm sure, sir, viewers can listen to the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're listening to Satyavani.
The voice of the Apeejay
Time hai.
University, India's first liberal arts and meta university.
For further information, please visit our website university.apj.edu. नमस्कार दोस्तों, आप सुन रहे हैं रेडियो सत्यवाणी, द वॉइस ऑफ एपीजे सत्या यूनिवर्सिटी। मैं आकांक्षा आपके लिए लेकर आई हूँ कॉमनवेल्थ एजुकेशनल मीडिया सेंटर फॉर एशिया सेमका द्वारा निर्मित रेडियो एनेबल्ड सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स, भारत में सामुदायिक रेडियो, ध्वनि तरंगों की सामुदायिक यात्रा।
कैसे चलता रेडियो और कैसे चलते गाने हैं, जो लोग रेडियो पर बोलते क्या उनके अफसाने हैं। हवा में सुनते हम आवाजें, कैसा ये जंजाल है, सुन लेते हैं सब रेडियो तरंगों का कमाल है। तब इसको बनाया और क्यों ये इतना खास है, ये सब जानने के लिए रेडियो का इतिहास है, क्या सही और क्या गलत ये नहीं।
So I have few more questions for you. Now, since I was talking about collaborations, and I can see that even UNESCO and SIMCA, you know, it has collaborated with many community radios. How do you think it has strengthened the entire community radio movement in India?
See, UNESCO said how to mobilize the people, and UNESCO said how to find out the need of the people. You want to play back something, but they may not need that. So to understand what is the need of your period, Samka helped them to create radio station, and also help them to create a different new content and pre-test it before we broadcast it again.
Okay. And so what were some of the challenges that of course we faced while taking initiatives related to community radio and iRadio? Any particular vivid experience that you would like to share?
See, community radio, the problem is we don't have trained manpower. We don't have the concept of voluntarism in India. If you go to a foreign country, a radio station, there will be 50 anchors, each one will be saying, I am having Wednesday 78, the whole program is produced by her, produced by him. That concept is not coming here. Here we want money. We will earn money, we will hire a time, and then we will broadcast it. That should be the aim of community radio.
Okay.
So you can't expect somebody to fund you. That's a challenge. We don't have trained manpower.
Yes, that's the biggest challenge.
They either are an AIR anchor or a private FM RJ.
And we do not have any supporting academic courses also related
I think
to
in
this?
Indira Gandhi University there is a certificate course for
Okay.
6 months. It is there in that.
Now, so we all know that during disasters, radio plays a very important role.
Yes.
In landmark events like big earthquakes or tsunami, for example.
Because of tsunami only, community radio became successful in India.
Okay.
Because before tsunami there was only one radio, community radio. They wanted to close down that. When they saw the work done by the students of Anna University, then they created another committee,
Okay.
then it became a radio.
Okay. And so, what do you think are the kind of structural changes that are urgently needed in order to transform the existing radio, I would say community radio in India? Because I think a lot of times what happens that policies are in place but they are not implemented effectively, and that is why we do not see the changes happening. So I want to understand what exactly government is doing in this regard. What are the initiatives that have been taken? Because we are talking about power of audio in education, and since we are learning about iRadio, community radio, it is also important to understand that these are two very important mediums through which we can disseminate information education in a better way. So what do you think are the changes that are much needed at this juncture?
See, the government has now started giving a 100% subsidy.
Okay, that's the
To
biggest
start
thing.
with, you see, they are giving 15 lakhs of rupees to start a radio station.
Okay.
If you fulfill and you get eligible, the license is free of cost.
Okay.
Only yearly we will have to pay 23,000 rupees, and then 15 lakhs of rupees is a subsidy. If you are having all women radio station, 18 lakhs is a subsidy.
Wow.
And if you are having a solar energy, 21 lakhs is a subsidy.
So many
And the
policies.
government is also giving its advertisements. Therefore, the necessity for us is the concept should be understood in a different way. Government is doing its best. It's
best.
arranging, organizing workshops everywhere. Please come and apply for community
Right,
radio.
sir. And now, sir, one last question. What advice would you offer to young institutions or the NGOs that are looking to start their own community radio in India? You have already talked about trained professionals. There is a lack of the same. So we must bring them on board, must develop them
if
first.
you are interested in starting a community radio, just go to the broadcastseva.in government site website, and then within 20 minutes you can apply for a community radio,
Okay.
provided you have got all the documents ready.
All right.
That's the biodata of all the people, etc.
Okay.
It can be done within 1 day,
And so,
and then the government will give the license within a year.
is there any minimum member requirement?
There is no. You should be an NGO of standing up at least for 3 years, or if you are a educational institution, should have been recognized by state, central, or any government institution. That's it.
All right. So,
And India has got a potential of 5,000 community radio stations.
of course, we are
We are only in 500 now.
we are such a huge population, and of course, we are a very young country. So definitely, there is a lot of scope that young people can come forward and start their own community radio stations with new objectives in mind, and of course, with something new and innovative that hasn't happened yet. So, sir, I would really like to thank you for your entire presentation, your contribution to the session. It was indeed delightful, and I would say an eye-opening journey for all of us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for anchoring it nicely. Thank you for.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
sir.
very much.
So viewers, that was our online training program on power of audio in education. Today we were in day 3 where we talked about iRadio and community radio, and of course we have touched upon all the important points. We have taken few questions also, and I'm sure that you've got your answers. In case you have missed out on something, you can definitely watch this presentation of ours again on our YouTube handle NCERT official. So with this, I'm wrapping up this training session here. Tomorrow we will come with another expert, another topic, another session, and we will be waiting for more questions. So this is a wrap over here for this training program, but yes, there's still a lot more to come your way. And now let's talk about this ongoing competition called Balpan Ki Kavita. Let's see what it is.
क्या आपको भी गीत, कविता पढ़ने, लिखने और गाने गुनगुनाने में रुचि है? तो आइए शिक्षा मंत्रालय भारत सरकार की एक अनूठी और सराहनीय पहल का हिस्सा बने तथा भारतीय भाषाओं और अंग्रेजी में लोकगीत और कविताएं भेजें आप दिए गए लिंक पर अपनी रचनाएं अथवा किसी अन्य रचनाकार के गीत और कविताएं भेज सकते हैं। भारतीय भाषा कविता प्रतियोगिता के नियम आदि भी आपको इसी लिंक पर उपलब्ध होंगे।
We wish you all the very best for this competition, and also let me share with you that textbooks for grade 4 and 7 are now available on Amazon, Flipkart and NCERT website, so you can go and grab your copies now. Now let's take a look at the schedule, what's all coming ahead. We are through with our online training program titled Power of Audio in Education, where today we talked about community radio and iRadio. In a short while from now, you can watch our session Sahyog, where we will be talking about mental health and well-being, the role of school culture in supporting student wellness, and all the other programs that are there in the program schedule have been already aired, and you can watch them through our YouTube handle NCERT official. And I was talking about this training program, that it's a training and you can get yourself a certificate if you score more than 70% after the assessment. So please make sure that you visit our CIT website for more details. Make sure you follow the guidelines and keep on sharing your information updates with us, so that we can also improvise upon our training program. So with this, I'm closing the session here. This is me, Harpreet Kaur, taking leave of you, but you stay tuned for more educational content on our various platforms. Take care. Namaskar.